on?
Yes, we are on. It's going to the cloud, and I would recommend everybody be concerned with how you say things.
Especially you, Kevin.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'd like to call a meeting of the Freetown Water and Sewer Commissioners on Friday, August 7th, 2020, at 11 a.m. 01. Okay, pursuant to the Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing restrictions, limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Freetown Water and Sewer Commissioners will be conducted by a remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Freetown's website, freetownma.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to view this meeting will be able to view it via live stream at youtube.com/FreetownMA. No person attendance of the members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post it on the town's YouTube channel an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. In attendance are
Kevin Damaris.
Lee Baumgartner.
Paul Sadik.
Stephen Chandler.
and Bob Parker, myself. Okay. This meeting is to discuss articles and all communications pertaining to them to be included on the warrant for the fall special town meeting being held in October 2020. So the big thing is the monies and the bills that we owe Fall River. Now they sent us all the calculations and figures. So I think that if we have some discussion on them, I will open it up to that. Mr. Sadik, do you have something to say about all this?
I've reviewed the figures. They look reasonable to me. And I know that we have 3 articles for the special town meeting that we're going to have to approve. But I believe that the figures that Fall River provided us appear to be reasonable for that period of time from January of 2019 to June 30th of 2020. And I would now turn it over to Kevin Damaris to see if he agrees. Over.
Yeah, actually, in looking at that, those are the numbers that we gave them, and they didn't question us on any of the numbers. So the numbers that they have on their spreadsheet and what they represent are the same numbers that we have. So I think we're in agreement on that.
So that's why they're reasonable.
There you go.
All right. Then I will entertain a motion if there's no further discussion.
I'd just like to say one thing if I could, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sir. You sure can.
Being a new member, I'm just going to coalesce to the veterans that have been on the committee But I did review the numbers like Mr. Sadik, and they seem fair to me,
Good,
over.
good. Yep, I looked at them and, they look like they're in line, so I think, we need to, have a vote to pay them.
Well,
Well,
can I say something before you make
Sure.
that vote?
Yep.
So,
Ken,
Kim has given me some information, or some structure for paying these. So she has $46,333.19 that can be used towards the outstanding charges for fiscal year 2019 for the bills from Fall River. And there is $93,946.08 that can be used towards the outstanding charges for 2020. So what I've done is I've taken those two amounts, deducted it from the balance due to Fall River, and I've inserted that number into the proposed article for the special town meeting warrant for this fall.
okay,
And I emailed that to you guys a little while ago, so I know it was, you probably haven't seen it yet, but I just wanted to give you the appropriate number to vote on,
okay, that's good.
or the exact number, I should say. So that figure is $304,692.87.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got that in the form of the article, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we got that a little while ago.
you did. Oh, you saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you guys are gonna be able to see it or not before this meeting. So
Bob, would you like me to read the article? I printed it.
oh, before that, Paul, does that make us, current with Fall River?
that pays the balance due from the spreadsheet that Fall River has supplied to us. So that amount, that goes through that goes through June of 2020. So that's for the fiscal year 20 and fiscal year 19.
Yeah, it starts in January of 19, correct?
Yeah, January, yes.
Right.
And then, so that is credits for, that fiscal year. So it's part of calendar year 18, all the way through January, all the way through June of 2020.
Okay, so that only leaves us with basically the current bill.
Correct.
Starting
Oh,
July 1st. Starting July 1st, correct?
For the, any water used from June, whenever the last report was, June 25th, I believe, of 2020, through going forward.
That's good, and we got money left to pay that too, so. Okay, but that doesn't have to go on the warrant though, that from June 2020, forward, that's current, right?
That's current. That'll be this fiscal year.
Yep,
Current fiscal year of 2021.
yep, all right. Paul, do you want to read that?
Okay, in case you guys haven't got it, I just saw it and I printed it before I came downstairs. It says, proposed article for fiscal year 2021 special annual town meeting warrant, to see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $304,692.87 in the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for the purpose of paying water bills from fiscal year 2019 and fiscal year 2020 to be funded from certified retained earnings of the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund and or take any other action relative thereto. It requires a 9/10 vote, and the explanation prior to the autumn of 2019 bills sent to Freetown for the water purchase were estimated, and Fall River was undercharging for water. The meter was replaced in August 2019, and all bills since represent actual usage by the town of Freetown. The actual usage is significantly greater, and subsequently, so are the charges from Fall River, and the appropriation was inadequate to cover the actual charges. Well, I'm not sure if that's the right explanation as I
Okay,
read it, because the delay in the payment had to do with, one, the meter was faulty, Fall River's meter was faulty, but more importantly, we were waiting for a credit for the water that is being bled to keep us in compliance. And that is part of our agreement with with the city of Fall River,
right, okay.
okay? That's
Yeah,
my,
you're right, Paul. It was born out of the fact that when we finally asked, or I should say when we initially asked for our credit after the first year of being in the new contract, they then realized that they obviously weren't charging us for all the water. So they balked at that credit for a while. You agreed, along with Fall River, to put the new meter in, get some months behind us, see what it was, see if it's accurate and all, and that's what led to this point. Whether the meter was undercharging, overcharging, it was failure on Fall River's part to give us our money back, if you will, or credits for bleeding, and then getting the new meter installed. And now I think we're all in agreement. The new meter is measuring correctly. We're measuring correctly on our side, and it appears, according to the spreadsheet and what Fall River's recognized, that we're going to get credit for all the water that we put through our bleeders, up to the 220,000 gallons a day.
I think you're right. I mean, you're right, Kevin. And I think the explanation should say the delay in payment to Fall River was due to the fact that they had
They owed us
installed
credit.
they had to install a proper meter to measure what we were using, and the credits that were due Freetown for under our existing agreement. I think that's all we need to put in there.
Well, can I chime in?
Sure.
Chandler, just because you can't see me. I mean, the explanation was
What do you want from me? Jesus Christ.
written so that,
I'm on a,
hello? Oh, the explanation was written
I'm on a Zoom meeting.
to show and justify the amount of money, because it goes well beyond our budgeted line item for water. So that's why it was written the way it was written.
Yeah, but we can change that.
And we can add, I was going to say, we can, add in the fact that it was, it was delayed, or change it altogether. It's up to you, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Paul, why don't you send Chandler an email on how you want it?
Well, I think that I think that
Well, I'll go back to the office. I'll work on some wording and we'll send it out to everybody.
yeah, I think
It
that
doesn't
we.
have to,
Go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say that the articles are due on the 11th, which is next Tuesday.
Right.
So I think in the meantime, if we can just manage to get some new wording on that, and everybody by consensus says that they're okay with the wording. And again, that wording can be changed at any point in time up until the point where they print the actual warrant.
Right. I think for today, I was going to say, I think for today, if you just vote on the amount, so we can
Yeah, we'll do that.
get that. Yeah.
I think there has to be something in there to show that in addition to the fact that the meter was not correct,
Right.
we had also they balked at the amount of bleeding credit. You don't have to say that in there, but you have to
Wow.
say that we waited for the bleeding credits to
Yeah.
offset the cost. You know what I'm
Right.
trying to say, Kevin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was continued contract negotiations relative to the amount of money that we were going to be credited for our bleeders. In
Right.
the meantime, we were withholding payment until that issue was resolved. Now that the issue is resolved, we feel confident that we're getting the amount of water credited to us, and we feel confident that this is the amount of money that we owe to the city of Fall River, and it was only because we were looking out for the interests of the Freetown Water customers that we didn't pay the bill, and to our advantage, we've ended up getting credit for $400-something thousand. I think if we write something to that end, I think
There you go.
it explains why.
Okay, I hope you recorded that, Chandler, so you can write it verbatim.
Well, the good news is it's being recorded. It's going to be on
Right.
the cloud. So when I get back, I can play it back and put it there. So.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Dismaris
Okay,
first selectman. Dismaris first
Yeah,
selectman.
thanks. Thanks, Lee. Thanks. I thought you liked me, Lee.
Kevin, maybe he doesn't
Yeah.
like you.
I can't blame him.
Hey, why don't we have a
Okay.
vote to accept, to authorize the payment with slight correction of the explanation?
Seconded.
Somebody make a,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
well, he hasn't made it yet.
Yeah, I make the motion to adopt the wording of Article 1 as I read earlier with the correction on the explanation. In the
Okay,
amount of $304,692.87.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and we have to have it by the name.
Roll call. We have to have a roll call.
Yeah, roll call.
Lee Baumgartner. Aye.
Paul Sadek voted yes.
Bob Parker voted yes. Therefore, that is completed.
All right.
Okay. We have two other articles that we have to vote on.
Well, yeah, there's one other article for the purposes of paying sewer bills for fiscal year 20.
Okay.
Which is
You want me to read it?
one I sent. You have it? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is an article to see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $57,860.93 in the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for the purpose of paying sewer bills from fiscal year 2020 to be funded from certified retained earnings of the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund and or take any action relative thereto. The request is, now I'm going to read the explanation. The request is to pay the remaining balance on the sewer account number 00687 from the city of Fall River. Payment was unable to be made during fiscal year 20 due to an increase in charges for actual sewer usage. Prior to the autumn of 2019 bills sent to Freetown for sewer usage was estimated and Fall River was undercharging, which in turn we were undercharging our customers. The meter was replaced in August of 2019 and all bills since represent actual usage by Ashland and Stop and Shop. These are the two sewer customers. The actual usage is significantly greater and subsequently so are the charges from Fall River.
Well, that's a flipping mouthful just to say that we did not budget enough in our expense line item for the sewer payments.
Yeah.
We bring in the money. It's not that we don't bring in the money. You know, that explanation almost gives the impression that we were undercharging our customers, like we weren't getting what we were supposed to get. It's just simple. We didn't budget enough at the beginning of the last fiscal year. We can't pay a bill that we haven't budgeted for. We're just transferring from our own fund to pay that. We have been charging our customers accurately, and we're getting the money that we were told that we needed to collect.
Right.
But it seems like a lengthy, almost, I don't want to say confusing, but too much information when it's really simply, we didn't budget enough. We have the money in our account. It's just we didn't put enough money in that line item. And now that there's a more accurate, if you will, accounting for the sewer usage, I mean, this can happen if you had a new customer come in and you increase the sewer usage. It could simply happen because of that. not through any fault of a meter or undercharging or anything. So I don't want to give the impression that we weren't charging enough and that's why we're not covering our bills.
Right. We were absolutely charging enough. We were charging based on what Fall River was charging us.
The problem actually lied with Fall River because they were estimating the bills
Right.
and not doing true readings.
Right.
Which caused us to continue on with that, if you will, that budget sequence or that budget line item in an amount similar to years before.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
And now that needed to be increased. And
yeah,
Just
I
the
think,
pro-
that, again, I think simplifying it a little bit.
All right.
would help.
you just say what you want to change to, and we'll
I'll
work on it.
Yep.
All right. Got it.
If I remember
Okay.
right, if I remember correctly, didn't Fall River, they did work on that sewer meter to bring it up to
Yeah.
snuff, didn't they?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
we
did the
went
work
there.
on-
We,
did-
we paid for it. Right.
Yes, we do the upgrades on the sewer meter, right? You're right. Up until that point in time, they were just estimating sewer usage. I don't know why we had a sewer meter there. Well, now that the sewer meter's working and they're deciding to charge us based on that, not based on estimates that they had. But clearly, it's just a matter of we didn't budget enough. We bring in the amount. That's not a question. So I don't want to give the impression. I think I'll work on something again. I'll send it to you guys. And if by consensus you guys all agree that the wording's good, then we'll just move forward with that, and we can ratify it at a subsequent Water and Sewer Commission meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good because in essence, we've collected the money, or we wouldn't
Yes.
have the money, or we wouldn't have the money to pay the bill.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, it might just be that one little line in there which caused us to undercharge. Yes, we did, I guess, undercharge our customers, but we didn't get charged. It's not like we were being overcharged Fall River and we undercharged. That's not why we owe the money.
No,
It's just-
that's why it says sewer usage was estimated and Fall River was undercharging, which in turn we were undercharged. You know what I mean? But I totally understand what you're saying. So because it does look like we're not charging enough, but we were charging appropriately.
We were getting every dime.
We were getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
All
were
right, let's just,
Bob, we were giving storage away.
Giving sewage away.
let's just vote on this with the same stipulation as the last one, that we revise the description and go from there.
Yep.
So after much discussion, our funds are commensurate with our bills.
Yeah, we're all
Yes.
set there.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's make a motion for this one.
Why don't we let the new commissioner make the motion?
Make a motion that we pay the bills.
On the warrant article, right, that we just read? I'll second
The
that.
warrant article we just discussed at
Yeah,
length.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Lee
no more
Baumgartner, yes.
Paul Sadek, yes.
Bob Parker votes yes. The motion carries. That takes care of that one. Did you say we had a third one or just two?
Well,
We have
just
another
the-
one.
Yeah, well, we have the other one I included for you guys for information. It's one that Kim drafted. It's just an increase in indirect costs from her original article for indirect costs. It's increasing by $3,359. So that was for your.
No, there's more to that. There's more to that article, the way I read it.
Oh, you do? Oh, this is the one for the, oh, I'm sorry. Supplemental increase for fiscal 21, right? Sorry.
For our things?
Ignore the man behind the blank phone. That would be me. Yeah, it's you increase the line item. Go ahead, Paul.
You want me to read the article, Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead. I haven't, I just been, so I didn't read them yet.
Okay. To see if the town will vote to appropriate a supplemental increase of $294 even to operate the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for fiscal year 2021, with an appropriation for the following direct expenses: purchase of services in the amount of $665,935 in the Water and Sewer Enterprise in the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund, and the sum of $3,359 for indirect costs appropriated in the general fund as part of the omnibus budget, where all increased costs totaling a total of $669,294, and supported from water enterprise receipts, or take any other action relative thereto. This is an increase to the operating budget for the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund originally voted in Article 3 of the June 20th, 2020 annual town meeting, and presented in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and a half. Increase the Water Sewer Enterprise budget informational purposes only. Purchase of services for sewer, $445,000. Purchase of services water, $220,935, for a total of direct expenses of $665,935, and increase in the indirect costs charged to the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund from the general fund, and that is for finance, $354, utilities, $4, IT services, $171, insurance, $763, retirement, $897, general administration, $870, and interest earned $300, for a subtotal of $3,359. That's just to revise our original budget, correct, gentlemen?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chandler, Mr.
Yes. Revise the budget, yep.
Okay, that's a revision. And I believe the revision is the result of the new cost of the water and so forth based on the new metering system. Kevin, is that
How many-
accurate?
Yes,
What's the vote on that? How many you have to vote that?
Just a majority vote.
And the other one, was that just a majority too?
No,
Except
the other one's a prior year bill, so it's 9/10 vote.
That one, but the middle one, the one we,
9/10 vote also.
oh, wow, yep.
It's not
I don't remember.
it's not costing the town anything on the tax base. It's just out of our money that we have for operating the enterprise fund. So it
Yeah,
shouldn't be an issue.
It's just that I don't remember having to have 9/10 of a vote before, but that's what it is.
You have to have it for prior year bills.
Oh, okay. So you want to, that seems to be okay the way it is. Paul?
It looks okay to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was drafted by Kim.
Yeah, I make a motion to adopt this article and for the special town meeting.
I second it.
okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, Lee Baumgartner.
Yes, Paul Sadek.
Bob Proctor.
Yes, Paul Sadek.
Paul Sadek. Everyone is in favor, therefore the motion carries. That takes care of that one. Do we have anything else at all on the agenda here?
I'd like to give you an update on one item, and that is coming up on Tuesday. I'll be meeting with environmental partners as I was authorized by the commissioners on the last meeting, and that will be at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. It's not And I just giving you an update. That's all. It's not a posted meeting because it's only one of us meeting with them to work out some logistics.
Yep, okay, good. Anything else?
If I could make a suggestion, we received that spreadsheet from Fall River listing the total charges, credits, and amount due for water for the time period that they had listed for the bleeding. So I don't know if you want to vote to accept their information, their total charges, their credit amount, and the full total amount due, of course, minus, not minus, but along with that would be, what we're going to be paying them in the fall, at the fall town meeting. I didn't know if you wanted that on record.
Well, we voted to pay that.
Right, I know, but do you want to acknowledge and accept, the original charges, the full credit amount, and the full amount due? That's all.
I have a question, Chandler.
Yeah.
That spreadsheet continues, correct? Or did they start a new one for this fiscal year?
I would imagine that they'll start a new one for this fiscal year. I mean, we continue to track everything. Kevin continues to give us reads, get reads. I enter them into our tracking sheets and then send them to Fall River so they know how much we're bleeding.
They should be giving us immediate credit on the bills. That's the way it was supposed to be.
Now, yes.
Yeah, I think once I think what Chandler is trying to say is, and I think it's coming from Fall River, is they want to be sure that you guys are okay with this amount and that you've accepted this as the settlement, if you will, to our credit issue. And so I think, yes, you've done that by accepting it and saying the meeting article. But I think that's what it is. And going forward, that you would expect that there would be, within a month to 2 month period of us giving them the bleeder numbers, that they would provide that credit on the next bill.
They should
So
only
Yep.
be what, if we provide them the credits every month, then the following month, there should be a credit based on what we provided the prior month on the bill. We shouldn't be being charged the full amount without the credits.
That's correct.
There should be only a 1 month lag, and that was the agreement that we reached with Fall River.
That's correct.
The-
So that's why
that-
I don't know what Fall River exactly, but I think at the end of the day, we've accepted that our meters are accurate, their meters are accurate. The numbers we've given them, they're giving us the credit for. We believe that their meter is accurate. Yes, we believe, because again, our contention was, how do we know if their accuracy on their meter, are they charging us right? So we don't have a contention with that any longer. The meters are working. We're getting credited appropriately. We can move forward with monthly credits when provided to them.
Yeah, we're providing the bleeding information every month, aren't we, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'd make a motion that, as far as I'm concerned, that the spreadsheet that we're resolving the amount owed through our warrants, we're accepting the figures that they provided to us on the last spreadsheet up through June of this year. That would be my motion. And I think if that's what they're looking for, I mean, we're proving that we agree with it because we're paying them. We're going to pay them. So
Okay.
Oh, well, all right. Paul
that's
made
my
a mo-
motion.
Is that your motion, Paul?
Yes.
I second it.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Not hearing any further discussion, we'll have a vote.
Yes, Lee Baumgartner.
Yes, Paul Sadek.
Yes, Bob Parker, all in favor, motion is carried. I have one quick question for Chandler.
Yeah.
On those bills, there wasn't any interest charges, were there?
No.
Okay,
No interest.
Good. All right, just wanted to double check that.
Right.
Okay, well, we have anything further to discuss? Mr. Baumgartner, do we have anything further that you know of?
I do not have anything further to discuss.
Mr. Sadik?
Nope, not, I'm good.
Okay. Chandler or Kevin?
No?
Just a polite reminder that the last week of August, I will not be here. That's my scheduled vacation to Bar Harbor that I've mentioned before, but just to give you another reminder.
Oh, well, we'll know, we'll be talking between now and then.
I'm sure we will.
Kevin,
I'll,
Sure.
Kevin, would you please make sure you give the chairman your tool belt as well as the keys to the truck in case there's any calls?
I'm gonna, and matter of fact, we're gonna have the emergency line forwarded to his cell phone also.
I'll tell you, I had to go to the, town hall this morning, and I went to go in and my little key fob wouldn't work. So I had to go up and Ally's gonna make a new one.
Nope, she's already responded to you. She checked her fob and it is working. I have it right here in my hot little hand.
Well, it wouldn't open the door.
We'll talk about that when you can.
It's fixed now.
Yeah, it's fixed now.
Maybe she reprogrammed it.
Yeah,
So-
it's fixed.
Sure.
Mr.
we'll go-
Parker, can I ask you, you actually want a key fob that works? Well, you're picky, picky.
You want everything, Bob.
It does work, just so everybody's clear on that.
My suggestion,
Chandler, did you go out and try it?
It works.
That
Che-
wasn't the question.
Yes,
Okay,
Chandler,
well,
yes,
I
sir.
couldn't open the door this morning.
I know. It can be tricky if you don't turn it in time, and right after it beeps and all that jazz.
you know what? A lot of times in radio work, when we have a problem with one of our radios,
Yeah.
it turns out to be operator error.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
That
gonna
can
say that, but I tell Dan that all the time when he's trying to use the computer and he says it's not working right.
operator error. All right, let me get back to town hall so
All right.
I can try to get that wording out to you guys, okay?
All
We'll try
right.
to get, maybe we should try to get an older fellow's key fob for Parker.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Heck, see you.
Oh, we
Hey,
haven't
good
had a motion to adjourn
Motion
yet.
motion to adjourn.
Oh.
I, Lee Baumgartner.
Aye, Paul Sadek.
Hi, Bob Parker also. Talk to you later, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Good night.
Say good night, Gracie.